KSAT 12. The news at noon starts right now.
An investigation into a deadly shooting could make progress.
At least that's what police are hoping, releasing images of vehicles seen leaving that scene. So this shooting happened just after 4 a.m. on July 5th at the Oakstone Apartments in the 2600 block of Northeast Loop 410. Israel Uriegas died after at least one bullet hit him. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office ruled his death a homicide.
Police say Uriegas was sitting in a vehicle when he was approached by 4 people who demanded the car. Officers tell us someone shot him and took off in a black Kia Soul with 3 other people. It had a Texas license plate of RBF 4520. If you can help officers solve this crime, call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
Well, San Antonio police say a Northwest Side argument turned deadly, and now a man is charged with capital murder. And this noon, we are getting our first look at the suspect, 54-year-old Joe Perez. Now, officers found Jorge Espejo Gudino and Jose Yanez Nava shot outside an apartment complex on Callahan Road early Sunday. Both of them later died. Witnesses say that the gunman drove off in a red car, and investigators now say evidence ties Perez to this shooting.
A man is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after being hit by a car on the south side. That's according to San Antonio police. It happened just before 6:30 this morning on South Flores Street, not far from Southwest Military Drive. Police say the 60-year-old man was hit by a driver going south on South Flores. The driver did stop to help and is not expected to face any charges. Well, in the past 15 minutes, the City Council unanimously passed a more than $4 billion budget today. It includes cuts and fee increases to deal with a yawning budget deficit. The biggest bone of contention was whether the city can afford even more officers. The council added 40 new patrol officers, but some council members wanted even more. That debate led to the tensest moments of the meeting. As a supporter for more officers, Mark White kept talking about his pastime.
Amounts to less than 2%.
Point of order, your time is up. Councilman, please respect the body. Thank you.
Second.
In the end, White's proposal to add another 25 officers failed 4-7, as did a separate attempt by freshman District 9 Councilwoman Misty Spears.
Look out there with live cam this afternoon. We are slowly warming up there to 85 degrees, but I have to say, I think these football Thursday evenings and Friday evenings should be a little better now, Shelby.
Oh, they're definitely going to be feeling better, especially this week, today and tomorrow, and maybe even getting to some games on Saturdays if there are any. I know some high schools do. It's not going to be feeling as humid. We're seeing that humidity really decrease. And even right now, take a look at our current temperatures. We're sitting at about 85 degrees in San Antonio, and our dew point temperatures, where we're waking up this morning, because there is still a nice spread between the air temperature and the dew point temperature, it is allowing for it to feel a little more dry, even though this morning for some folks, you were waking up feeling that mugginess, feeling that humidity. 82 degrees right now in Bernie, 86 in areas of New Braunfels, and throughout the rest of the day, really, we're going to continue to stay dry and really not feeling that humidity. Yes, there is a light chance, maybe a 10% chance of an isolated shower making its way into San Antonio. Most of us will continue to stay dry. Our peak temperature getting to about 93 degrees already in those mid 80s. And this afternoon is going to be a little more copy paste, at least with our temperatures. Still 94 and 93 on Saturday and Sunday, but Saturday and even getting into Sunday, we're seeing the rain chances, a 10 to 20% chance of rain, not only Saturday, but also Sunday going into Monday morning. I'll talk about what's causing the rain, plus any chances it can help improve our drought monitor that was released today, coming up in just a bit.
Fingers crossed for that. All right, thanks, Shelby. Well, an ex-San Antonio police officer under arrest accused of sexually abusing 2 children. Last December, a Bexar County grand jury indicted Albert Sanchez Jr. on allegations that he possessed images and videos of child sex abuse. Now he's facing charges of aggravated sexual assault of a child and continuous sex abuse of a child. Sanchez resigned from SAPD in April of last year, months after the accusations first surfaced.
Well, San Antonio police are looking for the person who shot a man twice last night. This happened on Torreon Street on the city's west side. Now, people in the area told police that they heard arguing and then gunshots. The San Antonio Police Department says the victim in his early 30s, and now that victim has life-threatening injuries. They also say that he ran for 5 blocks before he collapsed.
A family and their 2 cats are safe after a fire broke out in a garage on Maureen Street. It happened on the southeast side just before 2 a.m. Firefighters say the garage was fully engulfed when they got there, and the flames spread to the back corner of the main house. Fire investigators are still working to figure out what caused that fire.
Well, some Texas families could receive up to $30,000 for their student's education. That is, if the student has a disability and is looking to attend private school. That amount ranges from family to family. However, students could get this amount per year from the Education Savings Account program if they qualify. The program aims to help families who had to take out a loan for private school this year.
So I have autism, and I also have a few other disorders that really hinder my ability to fully learn in a public school environment.
I had to be straight with her and tell her I cannot commit for more than 1 year. Let's see how it goes. But I took out some loans and just to make it happen.
But I think the state wanted to create an incentive for private schools to be more welcoming to students that have differences.
Well, the state has not yet set a date for when the application for the Education Savings Account program will open. However, the School Discovery Network is hoping to get parents ready early. And that's why it's hosting a free town hall tonight at Fusion Academy. This is on the far north side from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Parents can attend to learn more about the program and ask any questions about the upcoming application process.
Well, the fight against hunger starts now, and everyone's role is important. September is Hunger Action Month, and KSAT Community is teaming up with the San Antonio Food Bank to help fight hunger. Patty Santos went to the San Antonio Food Bank today to learn more about the effort.
Hey there, I'm Patty Santos here inside the San Antonio Food Bank, and we've been talking about how your donations, how your time, how your contributions can help families in our community beat out hunger. We're here with Eric Cooper. Tell us about how this month is going.
Well, it's been incredible. You guys have been an incredible partner with Hunger Action Month, helping people get involved in the fight against hunger. We kicked off the month with our 30 Ways in 30 Days calendar, and there's been lots of great leaders setting the example on how to get involved. And I want to make sure folks know that at any HEB, when you're going through the checkout counter, you can make a donation that helps us put food on the table for families. If you go to Whataburger, now they are huge. Orange is the color for hunger awareness, and when you buy your meal, you can donate and they will give you a coupon for a free Whataburger. You can also drop off at our BFCU. They are collecting non-perishable canned goods all throughout the city. It's a convenient drop off. Lots of ways to fight hunger, but we need San Antonio to respond, and we appreciate you guys getting the word out.
And I know you guys have talked about the need for volunteers. This is a year-round thing, right?
It's huge, right? We need 2,000 volunteers a week to keep up with what's happening right now. And so if you've got some extra time, you can donate your time to serve in our kitchens, warehouse, farm, garden, or out on the front lines distributing food. Again, food, time, money, voice. Donate food through food drives, donate time through volunteerism. You can donate online monetarily. Big Give is happening. And if you want to raise your voice, use your social media, offer a prayer. We need all of that to help fight hunger here in Southwest Texas.
In so many ways, there's no excuses. And of course, you can always go to the website to find out more information.
Yep, safoodbank.org is where it all starts. And if you're needing help putting food on the table, we want you to connect on our website. We're here to help. Thank you, San Antonio.
All right. Thank you so much for that. We, of course, have also more information on KSAT.com. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Patty. And there's still a few more hours left for the Big Give.
Yeah, we've got this website up right now, and there's some top organizations that have a lot of money that they've accumulated already.
That's right. So 92 donors, but look at this amount of money raised by Blessed Sacrament Academy. That's over $127,000. And then even Antonian coming in with over $80,000.
Lots of organizations getting some money that they need. Donations totaling more than $3.5 million. That money will go to hundreds of local nonprofits. So more than 420 nonprofits are participating in the Big Give. The campaign has been going on now for 12 years.
Well, it covers 15 counties, and the goal is to rally support for these nonprofits and bring in as much money as possible. So last year, donations topped $6 million.
And one of the organizations participating in the Big Give is Project Mend. Our KSAT community phone bank is underway right now.
So coming up in a couple of minutes, we're going to be checking in with the phone bank to learn more about how your donations can help those in need.
Well, a local mother is thankful for the efforts of a group of first responders, how she says they helped her during a medical episode.
Live at the phone bank we were telling you about for phone bank for Project Mend. And of course, we have everybody taking your donations right now. And I think we started at 9 a.m. and I know the phones were kind of ringing off the hook. So thank you for those who have donated so far. We've had a lot of people call in, and they are standing by to take your phone calls to donate for any much needed medical equipment for our community here. And joining me now with Project Mend is Crystal Nedio. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. And, for people at home who, don't know how much of a need this is, we understand that, you guys refurbish and make some medical equipment that are donations, make them like new so people in the community can use them. Tell us how important this is for our community.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us. Yes, it's a great need that we are able to fill the gap within our community, not just only with the elderly, but with our veterans. And so overall, an opportunity to just get that equipment that's left in your home, that's been in the garage for a few years. We can even go and pick it up. I mean, that's how easy and seamless this is. And so we bring it back, we get it up to code, and then we put it back out into the community for those that are in need. So, yes.
A very good cause. And I know there's probably some people at home who may be able to donate to one of these mobility drives. I believe there's one happening this Saturday at the
Shriners Auditorium as well, from 9 to 2. And also we take monetary donations as well. So not only volunteer opportunities, but not for this Saturday, but throughout the entire year, we have multiple events that we welcome all volunteers.
And this is our chance to give monetary donations today with this phone drive. Tell us about that.
Open arms. Yes, every little bit helps. Yes, and again, it helps to not only refurbish our equipment, to help with the staff. It's just an overall to help our nonprofit.
And this equipment can be very expensive, especially for maybe patients or people who already have some equipment, but they need more, or maybe they need some for a loved one.
Yes, and sometimes the insurance won't cover certain types of equipment that they might need, especially I know that we see that a lot with our veterans. And so this is an opportunity for us to get out there and really help fill that gap.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to all the volunteers here with Project Mend. Thank you for calling right now. They are taking your calls, and of course, we've been releasing that number that should be on your screen. I'm going to cheat over here. It's 210-351-1363. If you could go ahead and give them a call, that dollar goes a long ways. A good day to give is also the big give, so keep them in mind as you are making your donations. But we'll go ahead and send it back to you in the studio, Courtney.
All right, thanks, Steph. I love that the phone started ringing right there at the end. Thanks for watching and thanks for calling. It's such a great opportunity to help people in our area. And Shelby, looking outside with live cam, beautiful blue sky today.
And if they're inside making a phone call real quick, don't forget that you can go outside. Yes, we do still have some allergens, ragweed, fall elm, and mold, but they're all low today. So it's still going to be a beautiful afternoon for most of us. Sadly, though, the aquifer is down once again. We're down 0.2 of a foot today, but I do have some promising news. We're tracking some light rain chances starting this weekend, going into next week. Highest chance is going to be Monday into Tuesday morning, about a 40% chance of rain. I'll break down what you need to know, plus take a look at the drought monitor coming up after the break.
So Shelby, you teased it a little bit earlier, but it's Thursday, so we want to know what's going on with the drought monitor because there was a little rain.
There was a little bit, and I love that everyone, especially in the newsroom, I had a few people come up and be like, it's Thursday, it's the drought monitor day.
We are invested.
Yes. And I do have a comparison between last week and this week, and also taking back a look to see what it was back in May. So starting off, I want to show the drought monitor from what we were last week. Here's what you can see on the drought monitor just a week ago. We're still in that exceptional drought, still that severe drought for portions of Bexar County. However, between last week and this week, we did see some rain. but it wasn't enough to get rid of that exceptional drought. We still need about 20 inches of rain for portions of Medina County to get rid of that entirely. Now, this is last week's drought monitor. Here is this week's drought monitor. It didn't improve for some folks. It stayed the same for Medina County and Bexar County, but what we saw is a difference in areas as you go up towards the I-35 corridor and towards Gonzales County. That severe, that kind of orange color, that continued to spread east. So this is today's drought monitor. I'll show you last week's drought monitor. The drought continued to spread further east because we haven't seen as much rain, and they're used to seeing that heavy rainfall and that saturated rain. So the drought monitor did expand a little bit, but for us in Bexar County, it didn't really change too much. But this is today's drought monitor. Here's a look at what we were back in mid-May. Big difference, right? We're still seeing that exceptional drought that we see in portions of Medina County, but that kidney bean shape went from Bexar County to Fredericksburg all the way to Eagle Pass to Del Rio, but a huge difference. And you kind of have to put it into comparison of what we were now to what we were just a few months ago. And part of the reason we're not seeing any rain, at least the last few days, is because of this big area of high pressure. It's been sitting in areas of Mexico, giving us some clear skies, giving us not really any chances of rain. And even as you take a look at the satellite radar, we're just seeing some cloud coverage, a little bit of that cumulus clouds in portions of Bexar County. But later today, I do expect a few chances of maybe a sprinkle towards the coastal plains, maybe even getting to San Antonio because of that sea breeze and even some daytime heating. I mean, we're expected to get to about 93 in San Antonio. Portions as you get out of the city will expect to be in those mid to upper 80s because they don't have the cement and the buildings to keep them on the warmer side. But we do have more rain chances on the way. Specifically, as we start off next week, Sunday into Sunday night is about a 20% chance. Monday is about a 40% chance. And the rain chances do continue, especially because fall technically starts on Monday. That's the fall equinox if you follow astronomical fall, but we're already in meteorological fall. So we're going to continue to see a little bit more summer-like temperatures, not necessarily fall-like temperatures.
Thank you, Shelby. Well, a mom says it wasn't just first responders that jumped into action during an emergency. Her 11-year-old daughter did it as well, how she was able to thank them.
An 11-year-old girl and a group of first responders are being called heroes. A local mother says thanks to them, she's still alive.
Well, with the help of our John Paul Barajas, that mom and her children got to meet those who saved them from the side of a highway. They reunited for the first time since that scary medical episode.
Imagine this. You're having a fun one-on-one day with your daughter, and then out of nowhere, you start experiencing palpitations, tremors, and even blurry vision, so much so that you have to pull over on the side of a highway and tell your 11-year-old daughter to call 911 for you. Not only was that the case, but now that family is getting to say thanks to those who helped them.
Hi, it's good to see you.
Can you tell me who's who? Hi. Thank you so much.
The Lester family's grateful. Mom Jenna suffered a seizure last month.
As you were having your medical episode, she was giving us information, and she was talking to you, trying to get you to remember different things. And I mean, she just did amazing.
Good job.
She's doing much better now, in large part to her 11-year-old daughter Krista's heroics. Something she remembers vividly.
She's like, call 911. So I started panicking at that point because that was a little weird because I've never had to call 911 before.
Even though she was scared, Krista didn't hesitate.
She started seizing, and then I screamed really loudly. She passed out for a couple minutes, maybe a minute and a half. Foot was by the pedal, so I told her I had to be a little mean to her. I told her to get her foot away, and then the car just started rolling, so I had to put it in park.
And although stressed while tending to her mom on the side of I-10 at the Bernie Stage Road exit, Krista stayed on the line with 911.
I do remember her, I think I heard her say the exit number. And I remember saying, yes, good girl, and then that was it.
To give us information about what happened, I mean, I couldn't believe that an 11-year-old was that poised.
And it wasn't just Krista stepping up. Fire Station 47's crew not only took care of their patient, they made sure Jenna's son Caleb, who was home alone, had someone to take care of him and moved the family's truck off the exit ramp so it wouldn't get towed.
I could not believe that they took care of all of that. Thank you is not enough, but I don't know that there are actually words. I am so grateful.
And Station 47's work wasn't done yet, making sure to get Krista a gift for a job well done.
They're so cute.
I'm glad you like them.
They're like two of my favorite colors.
Making for a picture-perfect reunion. John Paul Barajas.
You guys are superheroes.
KSAT 12 News.
Well, loss of life pushing nonprofits to take action. It has been 2 weeks since 2 people in San Antonio were found dead after heavy rain. They drowned.
The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed the victims are Robert Gayton and Nicole Lynn Keller. We're told both were experiencing homelessness and were likely swept away from a drainage channel. Their deaths have sparked a bigger conversation.
Well, our Avery Everett says that the nonprofits that focus on addressing homelessness and housing insecurity are leading that charge.
This drainage ditch along 281 North now sits dry, but the crumbled concrete shows the force of the floodwaters that swept through here just 2 weeks ago. This video, shot by a KSAT viewer, shows the storm on August 31st. Hours later, just down the Salado Creek, 2 bodies were discovered. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office identified them as 52-year-old Robert Gayton and 43-year-old Nicole Lynn Keller. We're told they both drowned.
They were known in the community of those experiencing homelessness.
Just because they were unhoused, that doesn't change anything about the compassion that we should have for them as a community.
I was last out here just 2 weeks ago, and honestly, not much has changed. The water levels have receded, but there are still piles of debris sitting here. But it does look like someone from the city has stopped by. This sign now warns of the dangers of the flood zone and tells people not to take shelter near tunnels and creeks.
But these signs are just a start. Katie Wilson wants more solutions.
Well, I think we all have a lot to learn from what's happened over the last year.
Wilson is the executive director of Close to Home. Her nonprofit is a part of San Antonio's homeless response system. Sam Ministries is also a part of this network.
The primary goal is to get folks off the street and into a safe place.
After we've seen the flood-related deaths from this year, how do you think outreach could change to better respond to these weather events?
We know what we do in the winter. We know what we do in the extreme heat. This is probably going to become a standard effort for our outreach teams.
Adding flash flood protocols is a priority right now, and so is figuring out how to send emergency notifications to people without shelter.
We have some ideas about alert systems, but this is where it's really critical that we go get feedback.
A search for solutions with the hope to save lives. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Look out there with live cam this afternoon. Yes, we're at 85 degrees, but I imagine with shade, it would be nice outside.
Oh, it would be a great day to go out, maybe have some lunch on the balcony or even out on the patio, especially because we're going to see that dryness throughout the rest of the afternoon. I wouldn't be surprised if a few areas do get a quick sprinkle or a quick shower, but it's not going to be widespread. Here's what you can expect for your afternoon. Already near 90 degrees just by 2 p.m. We're still continuing to see the partly cloudy skies throughout the rest of your afternoon, but by the time we get to the evening, we're going to start to see that sunset, make a beautiful sunset tonight. I know we've had beautiful sunsets over the last few nights, and we're going to continue to see our temperatures in true Texas fashion still near 80 degrees by 10 p.m., starting to finally decrease below 70 degrees or below 80 degrees, I should say, already after midnight. And when we take a look at the rainfall over the last 7 days, although some areas didn't see much of an improvement, we didn't really see much rainfall over the last 7 days, which does also take into account the fact that some areas in eastern portions of Gonzales County didn't really see any improvement for the drought monitor. In fact, it worsened for some folks over there. Now, we are still tracking some rain later on this week, but the reason we haven't seen much rainfall over the last 7 days is because of this big blue H, that high pressure just dominating areas of South Texas compared to a low pressure system just to the north, giving heavy rainfalls and thunderstorms and even tornadoes tornadoes for portions of the upper plains. Now, this high pressure is going to leave, giving us a little bit more of that rain chances as that low pressure system is going to cut off and move closer to San Antonio. But the tropics are also waking up. We now have Tropical Storm Gabrielle. I'll talk about what Gabrielle is going to do, plus take a look at our futurecast with the rain chances coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Shelby. Well, the House has given lawmakers more money for personal security in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. It's an extension of a pilot program that started in July after 2 Minnesota state lawmakers were shot in June. It gave members $20,000 a month for home security and $5,000 for personal security. The extension doubles the amount for personal security to $10,000 a month, but it does expire November 21st. The original pilot program was set to expire at the end of the month before this extension.
Democrats have released their counterplan to keep the government funded past September 30th. The 1-month stopgap will not get a vote in the GOP-controlled House or Senate. However, it represents a list of Democrats' priorities. Those include reversing cuts to Medicaid, permanently extending Affordable Care Act subsidies that expire this year, and restoring congressionally approved spending that the Trump administration canceled. So in the coming days, the House plans to vote on the Republicans' plan to keep the government funded through November 21st.
Well, a key vaccine advisory panel is meeting today. It's set to vote on new guidelines that could impact millions of Americans. The panel is weighing critical recommendations on vaccines covering everything from measles to hepatitis B to COVID-19. Doctors say that no matter the recommendations, it's always best to talk to your child's pediatricians.
Ask your pediatrician about what is recommended for your own child. And, I would say that the recommendations by the American Academy of Pediatrics are really solid.
Yesterday, former CDC Director Susan Monrez told Senate committee that Kennedy fired her after less than a month on the job because she refused to pre-approve new vaccine recommendations without scientific evidence. In response, the health department officials accused her of acting, quote, maliciously to undermine the president's agenda.
Well, now to President Donald Trump. He is in the United Kingdom where he's meeting with the British Prime Minister. ABC's Karen Trevor reports this comes after a farewell ceremony with the King and Queen.
President Trump leaving Windsor Castle and King Charles after a day of pomp and pageantry.
A great gentleman, a great king.
Today, the president getting down to business, meeting with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer at his country estate. Trump and Starmer signing an agreement on tech investment and discussing other economic issues, including the president's tariffs.
We've never seen investment like this. Without the tariffs, we would have just a fraction of that.
The president ending his UK trip, taking questions with the prime minister.
We're also working together to end the killing in Ukraine. In recent days, Putin has shown his true face, mounting the biggest attacks since the invasion began.
The one that I thought would be easiest would be because of my relationship with President Putin. But he's let me down. He's really let me down.
Today's events follow a lavish white tie state banquet. King Charles toasting the president.
Mr. President, Mrs. Trump, it is with great pleasure that my wife and I welcome you to Windsor Castle.
And the president returning the favor.
This is truly one of the highest honors of my life. Such respect for you and such respect for your country.
President Trump is the first American president to ever receive 2 state visits to the UK. He and the First Lady returned to the White House this evening. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Well, join KSAT and KSAT community for a night of hope and remembrance at Blood Cancer United's Light the Night in San Antonio. It's happening Saturday, October 11th at the Rocket La Cantera starting at 6 p.m.
Well, this family-friendly event honors those affected by blood cancers, celebrates survivors, and shines a light on the importance of research.
Enjoy music, food trucks, and a remembrance ceremony before the walk at 7:30 p.m. Admission is free, and everyone is welcome to register and join the fight to end blood cancer. You can scan the QR code to donate as well.
Well, happening right now, reminder, the KSAT Community Project Men Phone Bank is underway, and you can call that number on your screen to donate.
Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're checking in with the phone bank to learn more about what your donation can mean.
Well, Hispanic Heritage Month underway now, and there are ways to celebrate in your own neighborhood. So where to find the events in your area that are free.
As we have been saying throughout our show, our KSAT Community Project Men phone bank is up and running. Volunteers are standing by to take your calls. So joining me is Project Men Chief Development Officer Christy Walston. Christy, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Heading into the studio, we want to make sure we're reminding people what Project Men does and why it helps our community so much.
Absolutely.
So if you donate medical equipment, what happens to it?
We take the medical equipment in. We focus primarily on equipment that's related to mobility, so wheelchairs, scooters, and we also do hospital beds, shower benches, things like that. Take that equipment in, refurbish it, sanitize it to state standards, repair if needed, and get it back out to people that need it.
I mean, just on the surface, it's about money, right? These things cost a lot of money.
Everything's always about money.
Exactly, right. I mean, and that's surface level. So we're talking, how much is a new wheelchair? Like, how much are we talking?
A new wheelchair can be, with our discounted rates, can be as low as $250, all the way up to a power chair can be thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, but you're still talking $250, especially in this economy we know is so much. But beyond the surface level of money, we're talking about livelihood here.
Absolutely.
Right? So a lot of
Freedom,
people.
independence.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. That a lot of people who can't afford this medical equipment, even if it's just a shower chair.
Absolutely.
Talk about the mobility and the livelihood you're giving to people.
Well, it's freedom and it's independence. It's a way to be able to interact with your community, get out of the house, or remain in your house longer without having to go to assisted living facilities. The majority of our clients are seniors or older adults, and we're able to provide that gift of mobility.
And I love that you said freedom too, because you also serve veterans. A lot of the folks that need your services are veterans too, which we know we have so many of here in Military City, USA. What are the responses and the reactions you get when people are receiving these very expensive pieces of medical equipment for free?
It's life altering. It truly is. I mean, that's the best part of my job, of everybody's job that works with us, is to be able to interact with the families and the individuals that receive the equipment, because it changes lives. It really transforms them.
And so people can apply for certain pieces of equipment, and then you can kind of basically ration them out to everybody.
Right. All we need is a doctor's note, a prescription, or a medical professional letter from a medical professional, and then we're able to get the correct piece of equipment. As long as we have it donated, we're dependent on donated equipment, as long as we have it in our warehouse to distribute it.
So, of course, it is the big give right now. So this is timely. Of course, KSAT Community supports Project Men regardless, but any money you give today also goes towards the big give. We know we've showed the big give screen throughout this show, and so we need to get those numbers up for Project Men as well. And of course, giving money is super helpful if you call our phone bank, but also if you have that medical equipment, donate it.
Yeah, we have a drive this Saturday. We're very excited. It's going to be at Wonderland of Americas, or at the Shriner Auditorium between 9 and 2. We've got a third location at Colonial Funeral Home. And just drive by, put that equipment in the back of your car, drive by, and we'll take it out and give it a new life.
If it needs to be fixed, you'll fix it.
Yep, that's what we do.
Well, thank you so much for what you do. We so appreciate it. And if you would like to help Project Men, we just showed the number on your screen. It's right above us too right here, 210-351-1363. We have a whole phone bank till 7 p.m. tonight. So if you think it's last minute, it's not. You got hours. Make sure you call the phone bank, and we're here to answer your phone calls. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right, no problem. Stephanie?
Thank you, Courtney. And thank you to everyone who has donated so far. I know the phones were ringing right at 9 a.m. when this started, so that's a good sign, Shelby.
And the good news is you can call from inside, you can call from outside, and if you do go outside to make a phone call, it's going to be beautiful. We're seeing that low humidity throughout the day today, but not only today, also tomorrow. We're still continuing that copy-paste day with temperatures still on the warmer trend, sitting at least a few degrees above average, and even then, 94 degrees up until Monday, and then we start to see the rain chances return, and that's when we are going to see the chance of either some upper 80s or some low 90s for folks. I'll break down the rain chances and how much you could potentially see coming up after the break. With portions of South Texas only getting a few hundredths of an inch over the last week, the aquifer is really starting to feel it. We're only down 0.2 of a foot. But when you take a look at our numbers today and what our monthly average is, That's almost 30 feet below our monthly average. And even then, we're still below our 10-day average. When we get rain events where we do see about a few inches of rain fall on the aquifer recharge zone, it helps with our drought. And any rainfall total really is allowed that water to sink into the ground, to the lakes, to the reservoirs, and it really allows us to see a little bit of that improvement in the drought. Now, over the next 7 days, we're not expecting a big washout. In fact, this weather model doesn't even show any rain coming to San Antonio. What I'm expecting is a light rainfall accumulation, and here's why. San Antonio can see some rain, but it's not going to come anytime soon. Because of this big blue H, this area of high pressure is going to sit still in Mexico over the next few days, and as it does, there is a chance of a few showers or a few sprinkles in areas of the valley or even near the coastal plains because of that tropical moisture getting looped around it. But here's what we're watching for the rain chances next week. As this high pressure finally moves off the coast of Mexico, the low pressure system just to the north in the upper portions of the Midwest, like the northern plains, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Montana, near the international border, it is expected to cut off. And as it moves to the south, that cutoff low is going to bring in more moisture and more rain chances. We're already starting to see that chance of rain start Sunday night into Monday, about a 20% chance, Monday into Tuesday. And as that cutoff low gets closer and closer, on Tuesday is when we're also tracking our next greatest chance of rain. We're talking about a 30 to 40% chance, but not everyone is going to see that chance of rain, especially because it is still a few days out. We're still using some of these global model scales that don't necessarily have the exact time and track of it. So just because it shows the heaviest rain going to be north of San Antonio, we are still expecting rain in San Antonio, and you're going to want to check back with us. We'll continue to keep you posted, but not only is the weather getting a little more active for us, it's also still getting a little more active for the Atlantic Basin for hurricane season. We're still in hurricane season. It goes till the end of November, and on average, we have about 14 named storms. This year, we've only had 7, and that does include the latest storm, Tropical Storm Gabrielle. Now, the span of this is just about a few hundred miles. It is still a tropical storm producing winds up to about 50 miles an hour, but that is going to have no impact on us. But we're still in hurricane season, so it is still something to be aware about, consider, especially when here in San Antonio, we do still have our own rain chances. Again, not related to any tropical system, but still something to keep in mind and to be mindful of.
All right, will do. Thanks so much, Shelby. Well, you will notice events celebrating Hispanic culture all month long, and some are right in your neighborhood. What you need to know.
Well, it is Hispanic Heritage Month, and there are plenty of ways to celebrate Latinx culture.
Right, we've got a running list on KSAT.com full of things like concerts and festivals, and that includes this event. The Pearl is hosting a free concert series starting tomorrow, and if you can't make it there will be another chance to see the performances on September 26th and October 10th. All ages are welcome. There will also be drink specials, snacks, and more.
And happening on Saturday, September 20th, that's this Saturday, Nuestras Voces, Stories of Resilience, the Guadalupe dance company Mariachi Azteca de America musicians will perform a culturally significant dance at the Buena Vista Theater. That is a UTSA downtown campus. So it's happening from 7:20 p.m. to 9 p.m. and the tickets there start at $30.
And if you don't have to go too far to find ways to celebrate Hispanic culture, local libraries are actually having events this month as well.
So here's a look at the events coming up for you and the family to enjoy.
We're super excited to offer so many programs to explore our culture here in San Antonio. We have all kinds of programs, like everything from film screenings to dance classes, dance performances, a lot of crafting activities that explore the culture for children and adults alike. It could be, we have piñata making, nicho making, papel picado classes. We're also celebrating local Latino artists Norman Avila and Terry Ibanez. We'll have a printmaking workshop with Terry Ibanez at Landa in October. Mostly our programming fall on Saturdays, but sometimes the programming can fall during the week. Programming is always free for the community.
Temperatures today still sitting a few degrees above average, but this is a little bit more normal. We're still used to having our average temperature about 91 degrees for San Antonio. Today getting to about 93, Fredericksburg 90, Rock Springs 86, 95 down in Beeville, and we're going to continue to see the same old, same old. Today is our 9th day where we've seen our temperature either at 92, 93, or 94 degrees, and it's going to continue till about Tuesday when we finally see the temperatures drop. But as the temperatures drop, it's because we're seeing some rain chances. So if you like the cooler temperatures, just wait till Tuesday, and then that's when we also get to see the rain chances. But guys, the rain that we're going to see starting Tuesday afternoon is not included in next week's drought monitor.
Gotcha. But at least we'll have the slightly cooler temperatures.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.